everyone. This is a real honor to be here tonight. Thank you, New Dawn, for having this event, and thank you, Alicia. Thank you, everyone. These kinds of events, to me, are proof that there is some really amazing energy in Cape Breton right now. You know, it might not be the dominant narrative, but it is there, and everybody's really excited, and it's awesome. So I'm here tonight to tell you about my blog, which is called Dream Big Cape Breton, and to tell you about what it's about, how I came to write it, and why you should all read it on a regular basis. Little plug. Just to take you back a few years, about 10 actually, when I was 18, I graduated from high school, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I had a friend who was a snowboarder, and he wanted to go to Whistler, and I said, oh, I'm going to tag along. I said, where's Whistler? I'm not entirely sure. But I went anyway, and I got a job as a nanny, and I started to write a blog. And now, at 10 years ago, you know, ancient history in terms of the internet, there weren't that many blogs, and you had to be a bit of a computer geek to know how to put them together. But I started one, and I had 2 readers, my best friends, and they were very faithful. And I would just write about, you know, whatever was happening in my life, what it was like to be in BC, be a nanny, you know, whatever. And then as I would continue to travel, I traveled to Australia. I would share the address with family and friends, and they would read it and, you know, connect, read great comments, that kind of thing. And eventually 9 years passed, and the internet, as you know, has really exploded. You know, social media has become like this bad weed. We're all on Facebook, it seems, and there are, you know, almost everyone has a blog now. But I feel like it's still a very important medium to engage in, to use, even though there's so many of them out there, and it can be kind of overwhelming. So I was blogging myself. I was writing my own blog, and I started to think, like, you know, the dominant narrative of Cape Breton is either everything is horrible and it's sad and depressing and everybody's leaving and the industry is ending, or that, you know, whatever's on like the tourism brochures, you know, that we're all having a great time playing the fiddle and ready to welcome tourists with a cup of tea, and those two things are equally partially true, but they're not the whole story. You know, they're not the whole story. And I felt that the reality of what it's like for us to live here, you know, for us to just go to work and do our thing, and the issues that we deal with and the challenges that we face and the joy and the inspiration that can be found here, it didn't have a place to be expressed so much. So I thought, what would happen if I started a blog about this? And you know, I like to call it spontaneous. My boyfriend calls it impatience, but I just like to jump in with both feet. And I thought, okay, well, I'll be out the $10 that, you know, a domain name costs if I do this. And so I went ahead and bought it, started the blog, put it on Facebook, and it has really taken off. You know, some of you have read it and are on the Facebook group, and it's just been a complete joy to me to see people responding to these stories and responding to people talking about their lives here. Because another thing that I do, I should mention, sorry, is that I interview people as well. I go around and I interview Cape Bretoners about their lives, and people that have moved here from away, like the little one down back, and you know, people that grew up here, moved away, all kinds of folks. I interview them and tell their stories. Right, sorry, I had all these notes. I was going to wing it. So basically, right. So I got it going. I started doing these interviews. For example, my first interview was with this couple, Melanie and Jeremy White, who've moved here from away, and they've started an organic microbrewery in Bedeque, which is amazing. And their interview is still the most read post on the blog. So, you know, people love beer. I mean, come on. There's a reason we're going to Governors after this, right? So. And I've interviewed Carmel Michael and Alicia Penny, and then just all kinds of folks and their stories, and it's very exciting and awesome. And the one thing that not the one thing, I've learned many things, but one of the things that I've learned that I was reflecting on as I was getting ready to be here tonight was what this has taught me in terms of listening to other people. You know, I've got my little recording device, and I set it down, and I have a conversation with someone. And then I have to go back and listen to it again after when I'm writing my piece. And I realized just how much I go, in the space of a given sentence, you know, or interject what someone is telling me to tell them a story of my own, you know, and I'm listening back to it as I'm writing the piece, and I'm thinking, I don't care about my own story. I want to hear more of what they had to say. So it's really teaching me a lot about listening, about deep listening, you know, and just sitting and connecting with people, connecting to their story and to what it's like to be them. And I think that the more we do that, the more we strengthen our community, and the more we do that, then we strengthen what it is we have, which is each other. So thank you very much. I hope you all read my blog. It's dreambigcapebreton.com. If you have any questions, I guess, do we do questions now, Alicia?
No.
Afterwards. Okay. Anyway, I'll be around. I'll be having a beer. You can ask me questions.